Welcome to my views on news. Several updates for you on the ongoing conflict in Sudan, where Hemedti, Hamdan Dagalo narrowly escaped arrest. It is being claimed by Sudanese army led by Abdul Fattah al-Burhan. Secondly, 3-hour ceasefire was announced, which is in place while I'm recording this video. The two parties agreed to this 3-hour long cease, but it is not enough. Is this a 3-hour humanitarian pause in fighting enough for the people to buy food, to store food? Thirdly, viewers, efforts are underway to mediate between Hemedti and Burhan, Ethiopia, Egypt, several other countries, Abiy, Al-Sisi and others want to mediate. Who are likely mediators who can play a role in the resolution of this conflict? We'll try to analyze. Firstly, viewers, we must be careful that some old pictures, videos are being shared. The two sides' supporters are making false claims as well. Not all claims are false, but we must be careful when it comes to sharing information about this war. Like all wars, propaganda being spread by the two sides. They say first casualty of war is truth. And it happens on all wars that the warring factions always spread propaganda. It is part of fighting a war that you build a narrative, you try to put pressure upon through different channels, through your battlefield strategy, through media strategies, etc. So you must be careful. Now, it is being claimed by Sudanese army's official sources, not by any supporters of the army, that Hamdan Dagalo narrowly escaped arrest today. Pictures and some videos are being shared with the Sudanese soldiers who can be seen in the pictures with a military uniform of Hamdan Dagalo. Hamdan can be seen clearly written on the uniform which has been shown to media by Sudanese military. Sudanese military claims that the video is from a hideout of RSF where Hamdan Dagalo was there, but his bodyguards fled, and he fled as well. He narrowly escaped an arrest. Details have not been shared by the state media, by Sudanese army so far. This morning, Hamdan Dagalo was saying that he was standing in front of Sudanese army's headquarters in Khartoum, that Burhan was under siege. Burhan was left with no option but to surrender. But now Sudanese army claims that Hamdan Dagalo narrowly escaped an arrest. You can see a picture being shared by some official news sources affiliated with the Sudanese government. The picture is reportedly or allegedly from the hideout of Hamdan Dagalo, but he has not been arrested so far. Secondly, viewers, a 3-hour long ceasefire has been announced in Sudan. Ceasefire was announced at 4 p.m. local time. 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. is humanitarian pause in the fighting. It was announced at the request of Volker Perthes, special representative of UN Secretary General, who talked to the two parties. The two parties agreed on this 3-hour long ceasefire, which is largely being respected so far. We are almost an hour into this ceasefire period. Almost 90 minutes remain. So far, largely there is ceasefire. But 3-hour long ceasefire is not enough because this war broke out suddenly. People did not know that the war was imminent. So they don't have any rations stored, any food stored. How will markets open in 3 hours? How will people go to markets and buy food? It cannot happen. 3 hour long ceasefire is of no value for civilians. 3 hour long ceasefire is only useful for those diplomats, members of the diplomatic community who want to leave Sudan, because they are already being told that get ready, we're coming to take you to the airport and then you can fly abroad. So this ceasefire is basically meant for diplomats, for other workers of international organizations. Yes, they can be evacuated in 3 hours, but civilians cannot buy food. They cannot shift themselves to safe places in 3 hours. Good thing is that two parties have agreed on this 3 hour long ceasefire. So let's hope the ceasefire is prolonged a little, or it is extended a little for at least 12 hours, because if ceasefire goes on for around 12 hours, people can buy food, they can store food, markets can open, because everything is to a standstill in Sudan. Internet cut off, no electricity, water supply suspended, no transport service. So how will people buy and store food in 3 hours? So this ceasefire is only effective for evacuation of members of international community and wounded civilians who are in need of medical treatment. Some of them, large number of them reportedly are unattended because fighting is ongoing. So these civilians cannot be taken to hospitals. International Red Cross, other organizations, they're unable to reach wounded people. That is why in this 3 hour long period, wounded people, civilians, soldiers, they can be taken to hospitals. Members of international community can be evacuated, but to give some sort of relief to the people of Sudan, you need a longer ceasefire. 3 hour long ceasefire must be extended for humanitarian operations. But let's see, will the parties agree to extension or not? Who is trying to mediate between Burhan and Hemedti? By the way, sometimes those who offer to mediate, they make this offer to show that they are neutral. So they are trying to clear their image. They want to be seen as neutral. And sometimes these offers, mostly these offers are not accepted. So far, PM Abiy is offering to mediate between Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Hemedti, PM Abiy of Ethiopia. Al-Sisi, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Egyptian president, is also offering to mediate. Salva Kiir, South Sudan's president, made an offer as well. He talked to both Hemedti and al-Burhan. Abiy talked to both as well. Salva Kiir's offer is insignificant because whenever there is a conflict in East Africa, he is the first one to offer mediation. But he has no influence, no clout to be a potential mediator. Abiy and Abdel Fattah al-Sisi are controversial. I personally think that the two sides will not agree on Abiy alone or Sisi alone. Yes, the two can jointly mediate. IGAD summoned an emergency video conference of IGAD leaders today. This afternoon meeting was held. African Union's Peace and Security Council held a meeting as well. Arab League's meeting was held today at delegates level. EU, US, UN all issuing statements. Statements from Turkey, Saudi Arabia, other Middle Eastern countries. Russia called for calm, for restraint. From Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. From Kenya, Ruto contacted Al-Burhan. So far, the two did not agree on any mediation. The two are sticking to their positions. I think yesterday Burhan was under pressure. Today Sudanese army is gradually coming out of pressure. And if Sudanese army has an advantage, it will try to wipe out rapid support force. Yesterday Hemedti was saying that he will continue with this escalation, and he wants to take control of all military installations in Sudan. It's difficult to conclude now who has an advantage, but the two sides have not agreed on any mediation offers so far. I personally think that no one country can mediate, because those who are offering to mediate, some of them are actually parties. A broad mechanism involving regional, local, international players should be formed for mediation. That is the way forward. That is how their agreements were reached a few months ago between Sudanese military and FFC, a civilian faction leading political struggle for democracy in Sudan. This broad mechanism involving all players is the way forward. But so far, the two sides are not agreeing to any such mediatory efforts. Let's see what happens in coming days. Thank you for watching.